Welcome to Wyoming Country Living, where the skies stretch wide, the porch is always open, and the critters just keep coming. We're Kim and Chris, empty nesters who traded East Coast hustle for the wild peace of Wyoming. Each week, we're tackling homestead projects, wrangling our growing animal crew, and learning to live the country life one adventure at a time. Be sure to hit that like button and follow along so you don't miss a moment. And stick around till the end for our front porch question of the week. We're saving you a seat.
Okay, so here's the situation. I was away for a couple of days last week, and when I got back, I found that my favorite hen had been being terrorized by her friends that she's living with. So Chris and I were going to be away for a couple of days over the weekend, and I wasn't able to fully, take care of her. I treated her wounds, but I had to get her away from the other hens because when chickens see blood, they become carnivores and it's not pretty. So thankfully, in the coop that we did last summer, there's an area that's designed as either like an isolation area. It's also designed to introduce new chicks to the flock. So I was able to separate her from the girls and put her in there. It's a kind of small area. She's not loving it. So what we're going to do today is shore up this rooster area a little bit and move her into the area that we've had Coco in. And we're going to put Coco in a different area because he's becoming his typical rooster self. And while Chris is the rooster whisperer, he scares me. So that's what we're going to do today. Fun. All right, so here's our original. No, this isn't even the original one. Yeah, this is the original one, but I decided it was too small, so then we got the other one that ended up blown to Nebraska. So this is actually the OG coop that we are going to just put the run back on and let Coco have this area while Nugget gets better. I want to put it down so I can put more bedding in here. Thank you for caring about me, Sky. You're the only one. All right. Come on, River. dog here, look at. Ushers him into his new home.
Over here. Hey.
His fur heel's gonna hurt.
Butthead. Come on. You know, you spend all kinds of time around here. Sorted by all the emails. Come on, go in there. Come on. It was terrifying. So scary.
You've not been spurred by one. I have.
Well,
Right in the thigh.
because I'm the alpha. They know who's in charge.
All right, we'll go get his food and stick it in here with him. Actually, let me fill it up so we don't have to do it for a couple of days. Can you throw some more of that in this Coop for her? All right, so Nugget's been hanging out in there for a couple of days. First thing I do when I have to get to one of the chickens in this coop is I block off the door so that the other chickens don't decide they want to come see what's happening. So I'm gonna get her out now. I know. Like it, do ya? All right, come on out. Come on. Already looks better that it's not getting pecked. So, right, you can see the spot on her back the other day was pretty bloody. I got some antiseptic spray, thinking maybe we should try to clean it a little bit. And then up under her neck was a little bothered. So when I dropped the dogs off at the kennel the other day, they asked to look for signs of illness. I don't see any. They specifically said look for bumblefoot. Her feet look fine. So we're going to isolate her, get this to heal, and then we'll try to reintroduce her. Okay, pretty. We'll get you fixed up, okay? No. All right, see if you can get her neck. I couldn't get that the other day. So this or something loose to get dirty. I'll get you cleaned up, baby. And you want to see if you can pick out some of the pieces of, yeah. Remember her? She's one of the OGs, like you. You're such a good girl, Nuggie. Good girl. All right, I'll let that dry before I let you in there, okay? Why are those girls mean to you, huh? You're such a nice girl. Huh? Such a nice girl.
River. That's chicken food.
Food?
Yeah.
I know. Like, there, let's let the sunshine dry that a little bit. How's that? Huh? Girl. Huh. She's a good girl. Yeah, don't pretty. Pretty girl. Oh, I gotta get her a nesting pad too to put in here. We'll get you a nesting pad for in there. It's not really nesting boxes since they blew away. Well, that's big enough for you and your egg, huh? That's big enough for you and your pretty eggs. Okay, you ready? Okay, you remember in here? This way you're safe at night too, huh? This way that skunky that I keep smelling. Alright, let's go get her food and water. So here's my newest friends. I got 6 Easter eggers last Sunday. They have grown. Their wings are insane in just a week. But I had a friend that suggested that when I buy chicks in the spring to get all of the same breed, so then it's easy for me to keep track of their age through the years. So I got these at Baumgart's and they were labeled as pullets. So we're gonna hope that that's the case so that Coco doesn't end up with a friend because he doesn't do well with friends. But I have them I'm in the middle of cleaning them for this week, but I have them in this inside brooder box that I used last year. But I think maybe next week, probably, we're going to have to move them out into the big brooder in the garage because they're already starting to fly around a little bit. And I mean, their wings are crazy big. But so they're Easter eggers, so they will lay blue or green, well, 80% chance that they'll lay blue or green eggs. Actually, maybe 85%, because I think there's a 15% that they'll lay brown eggs. So even if one of them lays brown eggs and 5 of them lay blue or green eggs, that'll be a pretty nice collection of my eggs to add to Nugget's green one and the other 4 that lay some variation of brown. So in the middle of my weekly cleaning regime, I empty this one and put them in that little temporary enclosure while I give them fresh bedding and clean out the mess that they make, because they are messy. Might be a little much. Alright, that to do. I have a little bit of mess here to clean up. So I use a heat plate for them because that is safer than the traditional red light. But because they're getting big fast, you can see they climb up on that. The dogs are having a field day outside because the barn cats have been cooped up for a couple weeks since they got neutered. And they're finally out playing again today, and the dogs want none of that. Yes, yes, I know you want your heat back. We're getting there. So last week when I brought them home, I had this heat plate on the lowest setting, but because they've already gotten so tall, I'm going to raise it up one setting and tilt it a little bit because I imagine by next week they'll be even bigger. Actually, I think that's too high. They're not that big yet. So instead, I'm going to leave it on the low setting and just make it diagonal so that there's a taller part and the part that they could really get down and cozy if they wanted to. So this way, when it's kind of diagonal, as they get taller, it won't be too low to the ground for them to get in, but they can still get into the back where it's nice and low, and that's supposed to mimic them sitting under their mom. I'm going to refill their food a little bit later because I just did it yesterday. The biggest problem with this setup is their water gets very messy, and so I do have to switch out the water a couple of times a day. When I move them to the brooder outside, I'll be able to elevate the water a little bit to just protect it. And then the one thing that I found in the big chicken coop outside is I have started to hang their food from the ceiling so it doesn't sit on the ground. I've been going through a lot less food that way because they can't get in there and scratch it out. So I might try to do something like that once I move them out to the big brooder. All right, time to go back in. All right. Cute little babies, though. They end up being black and white, like checked, is what they'll end up being. So it's interesting that they start out with this brown, what's called chipmunk coloring, because they will end up being black and white. I know. Oh, you don't like being by yourself, huh? What's pretty? Huh? Okay. Good chickies. All right, I know. You want to get up there. All right, I'm going to go fix their water, and then they're good for a couple days, maybe a week.
So, on this beautiful sunny day, while Kim entertains herself with animal chores, what are you doing, Chris?
Well, I am doing a very exciting task. As I think I mentioned in a previous video, I am in addition to many other things, now a realtor here in Southeast Wyoming. And I am doing some farming, which is basically hand addressing about 200 envelopes to send out to most everybody who lives in the Burns, Wyoming zip code, with a letter introducing myself and offering my services and just telling them that I'm here, and a letter and a card, business card. I sent about 200 last month to people in the Carpenter zip code. And so I'm doing Burns now. And then next month I'll have a second letter for the people in Carpenter. And then following that, a second letter for the people in Burns and some things like that. So I'm trying to do one batch of these a month for, probably the next year, just so people know I exist and are familiar with me. And if they think about selling their house, or if they know somebody who wants to move out here, maybe they'll contact me. So this is one of the many recommended ways of getting your name out there and finding customers as a real estate agent. So that's what I'm doing. My hand's a little bit cramped because it's recommended to hand address the envelopes because people are more likely to open them if they hand addressed and don't look like junk mail. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, although I do get things in the mail now that are, pre-printed but looked like they're hand addressed, which would be a lot less painful. But that's lying, I think. So I'm doing them by hand. Although I'm thinking of getting a stamp to do the return address because that gets to be a little much and it's the same on every one. So, but don't have that yet. So I have them all envelopes all addressed, and now I'm putting the return address on each one. Then I have to print out the letter and fold it and stick it in the card in there, and then I have to seal them all and then put stamps on them all. So it takes a little while. But that's what I'm doing before I have to go to work and unload a truckload.
All right, good luck.